In this video, I'm going to show you what the difference is between blockchain and normal development. The most important feature is that blockchain records all the information that happen in the transactions in different blocks. The blocks are just groups that store information of things that happen at some certain point of time. And inside those blocks, you can see all the transactions that occur at that moment. The blocks are connected between each other. So the block 1 will be connected to the block 2 and the block 2 will be connected to the block 3. This way, all the blocks are connected and all the information will be linked. And that's how blockchain allows historical data to be stored, where you can go from the latest point in time to the oldest point in time and see all the historical data that has happened. So for example, in the normal world, you wouldn't see how people spend their money, right? But in blockchain, it is possible to see all the information of the transactions that a wallet has done. A wallet is like the account of a user. Those accounts are identified using a different ID for each of them. The IDs of those wallets can be used to track all the information of that user. So for example, if I send you money today and I send you $100, then you receive those $100 and you decide to invest 50% of that into a certificate and 50% you use it to pay your rent, I could see how you spend your money because I can see the blockchain, and if the blockchain is public, it will tell me all the things that you did after I send you the money. Many of the most popular blockchains have two main features. The first one is decentralization and the second one is that they are public. For me, decentralization means that instead of hosting your data on Google, Azure, or Amazon, you push your code where anyone can participate as a host to store that data. The data is stored between all the people that are in the network and all of them participate to store everything and process all the transactions. So this allows a difference between normal development because you can send your code and later the users who use your platform or your software have to pay for using it instead of you having to pay for it. So every user has to pay for their own usage in their transactions. The most important blockchains are public, meaning that all the information and actions that you do are public and they can be seen by anyone. It's like going to the bank and you are able to see anything that happens inside the bank, but the only difference is that you don't see who did the actions. You only see IDs that represent that people. But if you know what the ID is for a user, you can follow all the things that he has done and that he will do. So for example, I could go to the blockchain and I could see how much balance you have in your wallet, or for example, where you got that money from. In blockchain, not only the actions that you do are public, but also the code that you push is public. That's why it's easy to copy and paste code from another project and use it inside your own project. It is important to have the code public too, because the users don't have to trust you. They can go to the code and watch anything that happens there by themselves. And this is important because blockchain is usually used to handle monetary assets. Since the code that you push to the blockchain is public, anyone can see it, and not only good people, but also hackers. The chances of getting hacked are very high, and sometimes even small things like the syntax of the language that you use can make people lose all their money. Sometimes the errors are not in the code, but in the way that people store and use their password. Passwords in blockchain are important because if you reveal your passwords, it's like giving permission to someone to do anything that you can do. That is why the security on blockchain is pretty important. What are some use cases for blockchain? Some of the most popular projects in blockchain are NFTs, which mean non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens are things that you can represent on blockchain like images, videos, music, and some famous projects are, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoKitties, and others. Also, we have fungible tokens. Fungible tokens can be understood as crypto.
Money. So much money.
And there are famous cryptos, for example, Dogecoin, USDT, USDC, that in many cases can be used as currencies. But blockchain is not only that. There are other projects that, for example, allow you to lend and borrow money, or DAOs that are decentralized autonomous organizations. I will explain more about these projects in the future. There are many other areas where blockchain is useful, but people don't talk too much about them because they are not so popular. This is a list of areas where blockchain can be useful. Why would you learn about blockchain? The popularity of blockchain has increased a lot, and since there are a few developers, the need for them is pretty high. And also for the projects, it is currently like a trend to be on blockchain. And since the demand is pretty high and developers are few, the salaries can be bigger compared to normal jobs. Why would you develop your project on blockchain? Some examples are the following. Because you want your program to be transparent with your users, or because you want to leverage decentralization, which means that the information is stored in many different places and it is secure, but also that the users who use your platform pay for the actions that they perform. and it is not you the one who has to pay for everything. And also another reason is because you want to reach a worldwide audience. You can reach anyone in the world without the restrictions that banks and governments have. So I invite you to learn more about the blockchain world in my upcoming videos so that you can understand it more and participate on it.